The moment the leaked footage hit the internet, the entire drama world stopped breathing. Fans froze mid-comment, creators paused mid-edit, and even industry insiders confessed that they had never seen anything like it. A confrontation no one expected. A line no one thought Bai Lu would ever say. And a truth that Dylan Wang had been hiding behind his smile for far too long. Before you go any further, hit the like button and subscribe because what you are about to hear will shake you and you do not want to miss the next chapter of this story. The day started quietly on set. The sky was calm, the air soft, the crew moving like shadows between lights and cameras. But underneath the surface, tension was waiting like a fire that just needed one spark. Everyone had felt the shift weeks before. Dylan had been quieter than usual, almost distant. Shinyu had been holding back tears during scenes. And Miles Wei had been watching everything with the eyes of someone who had finally had enough. The footage begins with Miles walking across the lot with a silence so sharp it made everyone step aside. He was not smiling. He was not joking around like the Miles everyone knew. He was a storm dressed in black with no intention of moving around anyone. He was walking straight to Dylan. Dylan had been rehearsing a scene alone, pacing back and forth, running his hand through his hair in visible frustration. He looked up only when he felt the presence of Miles behind him. Not a greeting. Not a question. Just a shift in the air that made him turn slowly like someone sensing danger. Miles stopped inches away and asked with a voice too calm to be safe, "Why did you do it, Dylan? Why are you treating her like this?" Dylan froze. No one had ever seen him speechless before. The crew stood still. The makeup artist near the props table stopped with her brush mid-air. It was as if time paused so it would witness every second of what was about to happen. But what no one expected was who walked in next. It was Bai Lu. She appeared from behind the set curtains, her eyes sharp, her jaw tight, her steps heavy with anger that looked like it had been building for years. She did not hesitate. She did not breathe. She walked straight to Dylan and stood beside Miles like they had planned this moment together. Her voice cut through the silence. "You are a bully, Dylan." The words echoed painfully across the lot. Some crew members looked away. Some gasped. Some whispered in disbelief. Even Dylan looked like someone had slapped him with a truth he had spent too long trying to deny. Bai Lu was not finished. "You always push people when you are hurting. You hide behind your pride. You think being cold makes you strong. But you are hurting people, Dylan. You are hurting Shinyu. And you need to stop." Miles stepped closer. "You went too far this time. And someone had to tell you." Dylan took a breath that sounded like it hurt him. His voice cracked when he tried to defend himself. "I didn't mean to. You don't understand." But Bai Lu shook her head slowly. "No. We understand too well." The footage then shifts to a moment that shocked everyone. Dylan stepped back, his shoulders shaking just slightly, and for the first time viewers saw the truth behind his tough exterior. He was breaking. He whispered, "I never wanted to lose her." The entire set fell silent again. Even Miles looked caught off guard for a moment. Bai Lu sighed deeply, her anger melting into something softer but still firm. "Then why did you act like she meant nothing to you?" Dylan shut his eyes tightly. "Because I thought if I pushed her away first I wouldn't get hurt. I thought if she hated me it would be easier than losing her." Miles exhaled sharply, rubbing his forehead, almost frustrated but also shaken by the honest confession. "Dylan, she has been crying for days. She thinks she did something wrong." The footage then reveals something no one expected. Bai Lu stepped forward and placed her hand gently on Dylan's arm. "Stop running from the people you love." Her voice was softer now. Kinder. Warmer. Almost like an older sister guiding a younger brother who lost his way. She looked him in the eyes. "Go talk to her. Not later. Not tomorrow. Right now." The video cuts to Dylan walking away quickly, almost running, as if he had finally realized the weight of what he had done. Miles and Bai Lu watched him go, and the camera catches something truly emotional. A small, sad smile on Bai Lu's face as if she had been waiting for this moment to happen for a long time. Then the final seconds of the leak drove the entire internet into chaos. As Dylan disappeared around the corner, Bai Lu whispered under her breath. Shinyu deserves better. Please do not disappoint her again. The camera faded out, leaving fans stunned, heartbroken, and desperate for the next part of the story. If you want part 2 of this leaked confrontation, comment and subscribe. The next revelation will shake everything you think you know about Dylan, Shinyu, and the truth behind their silent war. If you want a part 2 continuation, just tell me and I will write it. When Dylan disappeared around the corner in part 1, everyone thought the confrontation was over. But the leaked footage did not end there. What happened after Bai Lu and Miles Wei were left alone was even more shocking. The camera captures Bai Lu letting out a slow breath, her anger softening into something more thoughtful. She turned to Miles Wei, her voice quieter now. Do you think he will actually talk to her this time? Miles looked down at the ground. He seemed torn between frustration and hope. I think he will, he finally admitted. That boy has been carrying too much for too long. For a moment there was silence, the kind of silence that settles only when the truth has finally been thrown into the open. Bai Lu crossed her arms and stared at the direction Dylan had run. He is scared, she said softly. More scared than he wants anyone to know. The camera shifted, showing Dylan walking through the hallway with restless steps. His shoulders were trembling, his breath unsteady, as if every word Miles and Bai Lu had said was echoing inside his head. He paused outside a small rehearsal room where Shinyu usually stayed when she wanted to be alone. Inside, Shinyu sat on the floor, hugging her knees, her eyes swollen from crying. She did not hear the door open. Dylan stood there for a moment, afraid to speak, afraid she would look at him with the same disappointment he had seen in Bai Lu and Miles. He hesitated, then finally whispered her name. Shen Yue. She raised her head, startled. Her breath caught the moment she saw him. Her voice cracked. What do you want, Dylan? Dylan took a slow step forward, then another, until he was standing right in front of her. He knelt down so he could look into her eyes. His own eyes were wet, filled with guilt and trembling emotions he had been hiding for far too long. I am sorry, he whispered. The words were not loud. They did not need to be. They carried every weight he had been holding in his chest. Shinyu stared at him, confused and broken. Why did you treat me like that? Why did you push me away when all I did was try to help you? Dylan closed his eyes, tears slipping down slowly. Because I thought if I made you hate me, I would not have to face losing you later. I was protecting myself, not realizing I was hurting you. Shinyu wiped her face with the back of her hand. Her voice shook. You hurt me, Dylan. You really did. He nodded, his voice breaking. I know. And I am sorry. I am done running. I do not want to lose you. I do not want to pretend anymore. For a long moment she said nothing. The silence between them felt heavy, but not empty. It was the silence of two people who finally understood each other. Then Shinyu whispered, you should have told me. He reached out slowly, carefully, as if afraid she would pull away. But this time she did not. She let him take her hand. And the moment their hands touched, something inside both of them softened. The door suddenly opened and Miles Wei stepped in with Bai Lu behind him. They both froze when they saw Dylan kneeling and holding Shinyu's hand, their faces full of emotion but no longer full of anger. Miles was the first to speak, his voice calm now. Did you tell her the truth? Dylan looked back, nodded. Yes. I did. Bai Lu stepped forward, her expression gentle for the first time that day. Good. Then it is over. No more running. No more hurting each other. Just be honest from now on. Shinyu wiped her cheeks and managed a small smile at Bai Lu. Thank you for standing up for me. Bai Lu smiled back. Always. You deserve someone who treats you right. Dylan swallowed hard, then spoke again. I am going to be better. I swear. No more pushing you away. No more pretending I do not care. Shinyu finally released a soft breath and leaned her head lightly against his shoulder. It was not a full reconciliation. Not yet. But it was a beginning. Miles let out a small laugh, relieved. Good. Maybe now we can actually finish filming without the entire set falling apart. The crew gathered outside slowly, whispering in curiosity, but the tension that had filled the entire day had melted. What remained was a strange calm, like the air after a storm. The camera footage ends with Dylan helping Shinyu stand up carefully, their fingers still intertwined. Bai Lu and Miles exchanged a look, one that said the fight had been worth it, the truth had finally been revealed, and the healing had begun. The final frame shows all four of them walking out of the room together, slowly but united, leaving behind the chaos that had almost destroyed them. And just before the video cuts off completely, a single voice is heard from behind the camera. This is not the end. This is the beginning of everything.